Hello everyone, Florian here from Heiser Says, and I'm down the beautiful Gold Coast, so I thought I'd just record a quick reflection on all the media hoopla and the discussions of Trump and the United States withdrawing from the Paris climate accords or whatever. And I'm of two minds of it. People are concerned, they're saying, oh, it's the worst thing that's ever going to happen, it's going to be the end of the world, essentially, all the naysayers. Now, I'm going to put a model or a way to address human-caused climate change that you may not have thought about. So say we have human-caused climate change. I'll just call it climate change. And it's predicted that within the next 100 years you'll have a temperature increase, and we've got some models economically that are saying it'll have this impact, that impact. Now, you've got two ways of dealing with it. One, we could look at having a, global plan, government intervention to deploy strategies to mitigate and overcome this perceived threat. Or the other is, we could leave it up to the market. Now think about it. The government, in my opinion, should really only intervene in the market when there's a failure. You have that with certain elements of health and safety. You have that with green energy at the moment. In Australia, we've got universal health care. That's government intervention into the market for what we perceive as a failure by our society. Now, say we take the environment and addressing climate change and addressing energy, and we're addressing all these issues. We now have a market that's much more mature than it was in the past in regards to this sector. Do we still need government intervention? If you have a planned economy as opposed to an open economy, the innovation or the capabilities of those two different economies to innovate is radically different. And I'll just reference the old example of the Wright brothers, how they managed to achieve flight to bicycle mechanics without any government handouts, without any government funding, and that changed the world. Whereas the government-funded projects completely failed. And this is one thing that you'd see throughout history, is that any time the government throws money at a business or an organization to try and solve a problem, it inevitably will fail, because the people frankly don't give a shit. It's not their money, it's someone else's money. It's government money. Oh yeah, she'll be right, who cares? So I would argue by stepping out of the Paris Accords and freeing up their economy and their market, it creates more breathing room for innovation. We're at a point now where society is mature enough there. People demand a certain level of green products. They demand a certain understanding of the embodied energy of what they're buying, of really the environmental price that what their choices are, what their choices as a consumer will have. We don't need the government intervention anymore. I would argue, and here's my solution, my way to address climate change. Bet on the odds. You've got a planned economy. The amount of innovation that you're going to get out of that, and let's say per unit for investment, we'll call that X. Whereas a free, open economy, call it maybe X to the power of 2, or X times 10. Now, how can you amplify it? And this is where I think we need to, where the government could intervene to help address the climate crisis and a lot of other things. And I'm talking for Australia here, this can apply to any country. I'd argue that we need to give everyone in the country free internet. You'll have free education, free knowledge, free innovation. I'm not talking crappy dial-up, and I'm not talking the NBN rubbish. That's proven to be a failure, but just for argument's sake, forget the implementation, just free internet. If we get rid of all of these other subsidies, all of these other ways of investing in environmental or sustainability, we just throw it on free internet, and we allow the natural innovation of the economy and the natural innovative potential of the free market to work its magic. But then if you have 20 million people, 50 million, 100 million people that have access to information, access to education like they've never had before, but also give them the freedom to leverage that, that's a powerful, powerful outcome. And that is why I'm confident that, you know, I'm completely happy for my children, completely happy for the future, and I think it's not really the dire threat that we all need to worry about. But it's just an interesting proposition. Yeah. Free internet to fight climate change. I'd be interested to hear what you think. Please leave a comment and have a lovely weekend.